What's up, guys? Matt, Legacy 4x4. I got some good news and some bad news. Good news is my new car drives great. FJ Cruiser is driving awesome. The bad news is trail's still closed for the winter. So I'm all the way out here at Peters Mill ATV Off-Road Park. It's pretty lax, very beginner friendly, nothing crazy, which is why I was taking the FJ out here, since I wanted to test it and get a nice little stock run. Stock as in how I bought it run before you know, we do any mods to it. But it's closed, so this is the walk around video, and we're gonna make the best of it. Let's do it. All right, so let's get right into it. This is a, don't mind the positioning. This is all the rock crawling you're gonna see for the day. Just, that's it. That's the max flex you're gonna see today. But this is the walk around video. So right out the bat, this is a 2013 FJ Cruisers. FJ Cruisers have always had such a niche like following. They've only made for 6-7 years, whatever it was, 07 to 14. And people love them. They are built really well. I've said it multiple times already. It drives like a very nice Toyota, and it still has all the ruggedness that I was looking for. So great little overland rig. That's what this is going to become. This is going to be my daily driver / overland vehicle. Super simple, not going to do anything crazy, but you know, still at the end of the day needs to be capable. So you know, I was looking at Rubicon Wranglers, and for the same price, it's tough. It's tough to justify the price of Rubicons right now. And this FJ is going to be a collectible one day, as long as it doesn't get beat to shit. Hopefully it won't. But this, you know, FJ's models are going to be a collectible one day. They already are collectible. They hold their value better than Jeeps. Probably one of the few cars that actually holds its value better than Jeeps. And never had a Toyota, and I'm not prejudiced against any manufacturers, so figured I'd give it a shot. And like I said, I'm super happy, super stoked about it. Quick things, it's in army green. It is a, I think, okay, so here's the fun part. But I did buy it being told it was a TRD, and this was before I knew, you know, much about these FJs and doing some research, but I don't think it's a TRD. It does have the TRD skid plate underneath of it, and it does have the TRD Bilstein shocks in the front, and it has, let me go to the other side, it has the Bilstein reservoirs tuned for the FJ in the back as well. So I think someone did a suspension swap and then the TRD skid plate swap on it. I think it's just an off-road model. I think it's an FJ off-road. Wait, the reason I say that is because there's no TRD badges. Those aren't the TRD wheels. No TRD emblems on the inside. And to me, that just screams that someone put TRD stuff on it, which is good for me because it saves me a lot of money, and it's a great system and it drives great, and hopefully it wheels great. I think it's gonna wheel great, but we'll see. But that's the secret. I bought it as a TRD. Now after looking at it, I'm pretty sure it's not a TRD. I think it was just an off-road model with some modifications done to it. Again, not too upset. Got it for a right price. It is what it is. What are you gonna do about it, you know? But there it is in all of its glory. And like all FJs, this one came with the roof rack, and for the interior options, they're pretty much the same. Very rugged looking interior, very thick buttons to press and buttons to turn and everything. This one did come with the A-trac and the rear diff lock, the inverter, and it also came with a brake controller, which is nice. It is quite a little upsetting that I won't be able to test this off-road today, and I'll have to wait till another time or go to a different park, but you know, it's almost evening, so can't do it today. A little bit upsetting, but still, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm not too upset. I'm still really happy with it. Got to drive the beautiful scenery here at the George Washington Natural Park, and yeah, not too bad, not terrible. It does have the updated V6 engine for the FJ Cruisers, no fender bulge, and yeah. The only reason I went with the 2013 compared to the 2007 models was because, you know, from factory, a lot of those issues were fixed. And if I was going to daily drive it, it might as well have all the factory issues fixed. So that's why I went with the 2013 model. And yep, so I guess that's about it. That's a quick little update. And obviously I'm not an FJ guy, so don't know all the history about them, but there's plenty of channels that absolutely love FJs and they go through the whole history. I've watched most of their videos at this point. But if you want to learn more about FJs, plenty of those channels exist. Just give it a quick YouTube or a quick Google and it'll pop up. But yeah, that's it for the FJ Cruiser, the daily driver, the overland build. That's how I bought it. And let's get into what we're going to do to it. First thing we're going to do is build a nice tube bumper for the front. The tube bumper is going to give us a little more ground clearance. It's going to take away from the bulkiness of the front, and it's going to protect that radiator and air conditioning cooler and also windshield wiper fluid, which is tucked up in the bumper right now. Plus, I mean, who doesn't like tube bumpers in the front of big old SUVs? I think it'll look nice and pretty. Second thing we're going to do is, you guessed it, tube bumper in the rear as well. The tube bumper in the rear is just going to match the style of the tube bumper in the front. And overall, it should add some better characteristics to the rear end with departure angle as well as ground clearance. And on my 2013 FJ, the rear backup camber is inside that rear tire carrier. So that means we're not going to be doing anything with the tire carrier. That tire carrier is always just going to have that same size spare, which is part of the reason why I don't want to do too much of a bigger tire size. That way we always have a spare that matches and it fits in the stock tire carrier. I think that'd be pretty cool. The next thing we're going to do is do some tube rock sliders on the FJ as well. And you guessed it, we're sticking with the tube theme in generating the final image of this FJ. And lastly, we'll get some mud terrains or some all-terrains, or maybe some slightly bigger and much better pattern tires for the FJ. But that's pretty much it. We're just gonna do those tube bumpers, those tube rock sliders, and add some different tires, and that should be pretty close to what I wanna do with this FJ. It should be pretty capable, and we should get rid of a lot of the ground clearance and approach and departure angle issues that they had stock. And again, these aren't bad machines stock. This is a very capable vehicle stock, especially for an SUV. That A-trac system works the same as the Jeep systems, and it's got a rear electronic locker. That's pretty good. For a stock vehicle, that's pretty hard to beat. And just to go over it, the A-trac system, you know, it's a braking differential basically where the brakes will stop the tire that is free spinning. But that's how it works. That's the A-trac system. The one thing that is gonna be a little disappointing is since I don't think it's a TRD model, I don't think the A-trac and the rear locker are synced. So I'm either gonna have to change some fancy wiring on it, do a clever wiring hack on it to make that work. So yeah, guys, I apologize for the trail being closed, but that's my FJ Cruiser. That's the new overland / daily driver. And I think in 2 weeks I'm going to Jake's house, maybe 3 weeks. So with that being said, there's a lot of big changes to come. The next few videos will probably all be FJ Cruiser based, and then we get back to the original Tuggy Buggy progress and Jake's projects progress. There's a lot we got going on, but there will be a few more FJ videos coming up after this, and hopefully, you know, at the very least, once we do the tube bumpers and the rock sliders, we're taking it to Uwharrie because that's right near Jake. So at the very least, that's happening. But hopefully I can find another off-highway vehicle place near me that's open for business, open for traveling. So a little disappointed, but that's the walk around the FJ Cruiser. So I'm going to get my butt back in it and go get some defeat Chick-fil-A. Make myself feel a little better about not knowing this was closed for the winter, I guess. But in either case, catch you guys next time. That's the FJ Cruiser. I'm happy with it.